Okay, quick Thursday morning radar update. So, the theme continues. I've just run the relative strength screens. I've just basically run the screens to see what's positive on the year in the 350. So we'll run those after I've just buzzed through these screens. So we had swing bars down in the US, didn't we? Not across the board, but I think let's just quickly have a look how many swing bars down we had. 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 4, and let's just go and look at the transports. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, 4 out of 5 down on the in the US. So you can see, we're into that zone we've been talking about, the supply zone, and I suppose we might as well look at it on the Dow. And though the actual markets don't tend to sort of feel supply as much as individual stocks do, obviously it's a market of stocks, and if you look at the you look at the stocks in the index, and you will see a lot of the stocks have got the same action and they've all got overhead supply. So that's why you're going to see it. It's a market of stocks at the end of the day. So what are the stocks doing? I'm going to show you that in the UK markets at the end of this update. So yeah, we're into that zone where, for us, we say, right, we're into mean trend on these. The only stocks what are basically breaking out tending to be oilers, commodities. Not so sure about the gold. Seeing many gold stocks, to be honest, but the metal stocks are in there, aren't they? And let's just go straight into the large cap volume leaders for the morning. It's 7 minutes past 10. We should have traded 24% to be on average volume. We've got quite a few running, and I'll just order them by sector, and I will say oil and gas, industrial metals, and basically a smattering of other stocks. Let's just buzz through these quickly. HSBC rear view to us. Talked about the potential on that one already. CAPD, we've kind of already talked about that as well. Rio Tinto, yes, hit the screens last week. Was it last week or was it even earlier? Moving on. BP, second retrace. Obviously, we've kind of covered it in detail. This one as well hit the screens last week. JSE, yes, I'm riding that one. Shell, covered that one last night. It's a FTSE 100 efficient stock. I don't tend to buy breakouts on that kind of stock. That's why I didn't kind of go in depth on that. As everyone knows who's visited my website. So we'll buzz through these and then we'll jump into rear view for us as well. We covered it 2 weeks ago, Bats. And this one too, it came a bit deeper though, this one. Out of the two, you'd have gone this one, wouldn't you? Even though this one's kind of bouncing more. I don't like these, where they undercut the low of the prior base. And, this is the low of the base, but it's a big loose base for a FTSE 100 stock, isn't it? But this one here, build a case, break out, pulls back into that area. That is the area where, if you're going to be over artistic, like I am, I tend to be very artistic with these things. I like to see, time and price, all the stars align. And there's thousands of stocks to trade. You might as well have some kind of if it's obvious and you see it, is that's the area you should sort of focus on. And it doesn't mean it will work. It's definitely in the zone of it shouldn't be a full loser now if anyone took it. Moving on. Into the small caps. I've already forgotten. It's 10 past 10. We should have traded about 24%. I'll just see how many are in there. 24%. And oil and gas again. And a few precious metals, industrial metals, and this one. And let me just get on the right chart. Coro, yes, fantastic. 113% traded already today. Yes, I have a position, so I am talking my own book. I bought it earlier. I don't know what we're up on that one. Let's have a look. Probably about 25%. Total guess. EME. General. We talked about that one as well, didn't we? Return to profit, wasn't it? Gulf Keystone, yeah, kind of rear view for us now. Reverse fall base, first retrace, and then it looks like it's kind of basing out again. To be honest, it's better if it just blasts higher, but it is in an area where it would be a really nice base area there. But hopefully it just does a high and continues for those who took it earlier. TGA, very rear view for us. So that is what's in the volume leaders today. As promised, I will jump into, the theme is strikingly obvious, isn't it? We don't really need to sort of think too hard to know what's in play there. So next, what I'm going to do is I've just ordered the relative strength screens. If you've got ShareScope, I'll just show you how to do this. Just put the date, the end of last year, and 21 to days ago 0, and that's the last closing price. So you're starting on the end of last year. So are they up or down on the year? So we've got maybe 21% of stocks in the whole market are positive on the year in 350, and it's pretty much, if you look at the whole market, it's pretty much around the same. So if I bring over the trend model, the index dash, you will see the markets what are holding up pretty well. We've got the transports and we've got the FTSE 100. Well, the FTSE 100 is an obvious, why is the FTSE 100 lagged the whole bull run from the market crash. It turned bullish right at the end as the commodities and that money moved out of the risk into some of those FTSE 100 stocks. So that's why we say the FTSE 100 is pretty useless if you're riding growth stocks. It's not a barometer of what your portfolio should be doing. You shouldn't be looking at the FTSE 100 as a benchmark of any kind. But in this market, we see why it's there. We know why it's there. We know what it's made up of. It's really obvious. And, commodities markets are kind of holding up there. So let's just go through this list. I've got 80 stocks or something. About 20% of the FTSE 350 is up on the year. And some of them are up by a very, very thin margin, I will add. So at the best, we've got Glencore. You can see it's rear view to us again. Our entries are always where the low risk area should be, where the investor should look as well. I'll just buzz through these. In fact, I'll do it not by the strongest, but by the sector. And let me just reorganise these. So we've got aerospace, we've got banks, we've got investment trusts, what tend to be in the sectors, what we see, you know. We've got food producers, we've got gas, industrial metals. A few of the brokers are in there, I think. Oil and gas, REITs, the tail end of the REIT move probably. They're all bullish though. And a couple of telecoms, a couple of travel and leisure. So I'll just go through these one by one, and you'll get a little bit of a feel for what's been going on. This one here, terrible action. This one here, fantastic action. Where did we look at it? Well, the second retrace. This was the first retrace, traded a swing move, and then it kind of came back in again and rolled into this little base retest kind of thing, hard retest. And then it moved back up, broke out, first retrace. That is where we talked about the swing, you know, the swing entry into that one. Now it's going sideways. Here's the case on this, you know, time or price. If it goes the time route, consolidates that move through the time route, that's even stronger. If it goes the price route, it's a little bit weaker. But, you know, you've got to ask yourself, if you come into this now, you come into it after, you know, the job is to get on board low risk scenarios, and you can see the sectors move, and you can see why the stocks are moving, and then it comes out with this news, and then it gaps up higher, and everyone knows why it's there now, and everyone expects it to do really good into the future now. It's not always the case, you know. Those who trade price have already been paid, is basically what I'm trying to get across there. So, you know, everything is priced in. You know, you see the move in the stocks first before you know what the news is. HSBA, obviously we've got that base breakout, and then we've got the first retrace on that one. Lloyd's, a little bit messy, this one. It went into a deeper pullback, didn't it? And some good setups earlier on though, wasn't there? Bases and breakouts, pullbacks. And then we'll just go through these investment trusts. Some of these are in downtrends, I will say. You know, you just saw Balfour Beatty, you know, aggressive bounces will pass this simple way of screening. So these are not where I would go looking for long-term, you know, long-term sort of trends. They're just, it's just, you know, we're just seeing what's up on the year, but we're getting a very obvious view of the sectors. What, you know, obviously Glencore, review tours. We're getting an obvious view of the sectors. BP. And by the time it looks like a no-brainer, you look back and go, hang on a minute, you know, this thing's, you know, the low risk sort of breakout, 52-week highs. It traded them back in September last year, was it? Yeah, back in September last year. 3, 4, 5. It's 6 months out of that low risk buy area is what I'm trying to say. You know, obviously the follow-on buys, but and I don't like loading into these sectors, but sometimes it's all what's there, isn't it? It's, you know, what I'm trying to get across here is that basically it's all what's working. So, sneak peek through the FTSE 350 bullish stocks on the year. Everything else is down on the year. I know everyone's always killing it, and Twitter's basically, it's a case of, can the last person just turn the light off, because everyone's gone, and they will all come back when the market's a little bit frothy, and all claim the huge victory. Realistically, we have to, those who actually are at the computers and actually do trade for a living, you've got to see these markets through. That you don't go and hide when the markets get bad. You just see what's working, and you bend with the market. The market pulls us out of high risk growth stocks, and what's on the table at the moment. We're seeing commodities, aren't we? So they are working. Hopefully, we'll start to see some growth stocks hit some new leaders start to sort of hit the screen soon. But in the UK, we're not seeing it yet. No point in forcing these things. Just step up to the screens every night and basically see what's there. So that's the theme. I'll leave it there. Nice sunny day. Enjoy the sun.